The scratching. About 6 years ago, when my cousin, we'll call him James, was 15 and I was 7, our parents left us home alone while they went to a wedding. My parents trusted him enough to babysit me while they went with my aunt and uncle to the wedding. It was our parents' friends. We didn't really know them, so it just made sense, especially money-wise, to leave us at home alone. It was sometime in the fall, maybe the first week or so of November. James and I were playing games when all of a sudden there was a scratching at the door. It was loud and animal-like. Something or someone wanted to get in. James stood up and walked over to the door. As he was about to fling it open to see who was there, something kicked it. It was like something was trying to break the door down. James started to look nervous. He looked over at me. He was scared. And to this day, I still don't understand why. I didn't know what was going on. He was completely silent, and he quickly ushered me upstairs. It was only around 7, but it was dark, and he insisted that it was my bedtime. He tucked me into my bed and went back downstairs. This was my aunt and uncle's house, and they were hunters. They had a small amount of guns, and I could tell that when James went back downstairs again, he went to grab one of the guns. I started hearing loud shuffling outside in the leaves, and I called for him to come upstairs. He was up and next to my bed in less than a second with a gun in hand. I told him about what I was hearing outside and how I was scared. He looked outside the window and said there wasn't anything. By then, the scratching and kicking at the door had stopped. But I was still scared that someone was trying to get in and hurt us. James stayed in my room and insisted we would be okay. I fell asleep, and from what I know, so did he. At around midnight, the shuffling began again. Only this time, it was inside the house. I immediately started to cry, and that woke James up really fast. He got up and walked out of the room, standing at the top of the stairs. Seconds later, I heard him shoot something, and then I heard a loud scream. He ran right back into the room and blocked the door with anything that he could find. I was still bawling my eyes out, barely registering what was going on. I just knew that I was scared. James sat on the bed next to me, and he tried to comfort me, but I was having none of it. I kept wailing at the top of my lungs. A minute or so later, there was a scratching at the bedroom door. James grabbed his phone and dialed the police while I tried to push him in front of me. I wanted to be far, far away from whatever was behind that door. The scratching continued, and it seemed like hours before the police finally arrived. The second that we heard sirens in the distance, the scratching stopped. Whatever it was scared away and disappeared. I don't remember much from what happened. I was only 7, and I was scared. And James only ever talks about it when I'm not around.